So it looks like we've got ourselves a new Rockstar Games lawsuit. Well, really, it's coming from their parent company, Take-Two Interactive, but it is involving Rockstar Games titles. This happened a couple of days ago, and it has sparked a ton of outrage in the community. And we're going to be talking about some of the details of why people are mad and also what this could mean for future Rockstar projects. So essentially, Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two Interactive, is suing the creators of a GTA reverse engineering project called RE3 and REVC. So these are essentially projects that make Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City playable on Switch and PS Vita. So I will leave a link to the lawsuit in the description if you guys want to take a look at it for yourself. It is incredibly detailed. If you guys know anything about lawsuits and court cases and trials, you know that it can get pretty long in the tongue and they use a lot of language and stuff like that. But I will leave a link to it in the description if you guys are interested. Today, I'm going to try and go over the highlights so you can know what is going on here. So Take-Two Interactive has launched a lawsuit against the creators of reverse engineering open source software called RE3 that recently made headlines for allowing Grand Theft Auto 3 to run on Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation Vita. Now, the lawsuit, which was filed on September 2nd in the United States District Court in California, says RE3 is acting unlawfully by copying, adapting, and distributing the source code to GTA 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City without Take-Two's consent. Take-Two's lawyers said that the RE3 technology allows anyone to play these games on platforms the games were never released on, including Nintendo Switch and PlayStation Vita. They go on to say the defendants' conduct is knowingly, willful, and deliberate. Defendants are well aware that they do not possess the right to copy, adapt, or distribute derivative GTA source code or the audio-visual elements of the games, and that doing so constitutes copyright infringement. This is what Take-Two's lawyer says. Now, this lawsuit comes after Take-Two tried to remove the source code from the internet earlier this year, and in response to that, the company's lawyers say the defendants knowingly filed bad faith counter notifications that materially misrepresented the legality of their content, apparently claiming that because they allegedly reverse engineered the game's source code, they somehow cannot be liable for copyright infringement. Yet while making this claim, defendants have also bragged that their derivative versions of the games are functionally and visually identical to the originals, and have even suggested they be used for unauthorized modding purposes. As such, defendants' software plainly infringes Take-Two's exclusive rights to copy, adapt, and distribute the games. Now, Take-Two goes on to say that the actions of the defendants has and continues to cause irreparable harm to the company because the RE3 software not only makes GTA 3 and Vice City playable to anyone on new platforms, but it also gives countless others the ability to create their own unauthorized derivative versions of the game. Take-Two Interactive is seeking damages along with injunctive and other equitable relief. So that's essentially the lawsuit right there. And this is what has made the community so frustrated because these mods were essentially just allowing people to play some of their favorite games on systems that they might not normally have been able to because Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive have not put them out yet. Now, this is not the first time we have seen this, and it's also not the first time recently we've seen Take-Two Interactive sort of go on this mod killing spree, if you want to call it. And I think the reason for this is clear, or at least the spike in this is clear. And I would imagine it has something to do with the rumored trilogy remaster of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. It might also have something to do with the expanded and enhanced version of Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online, because there is going to be Grand Theft Auto 3 anniversary content that is going to be featured in that. So I can only guess that's why all of a sudden now Take-Two Interactive is starting to do this. Now, I don't know enough about the modding community to know the things you can do and the things you cannot do. But it seems like Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive have not defined a clear line on what they allow versus what they do not allow. Now, I'm sure that line is clear in some very sneaky legal jargon, but as far as people that are just making the mods and of course playing them, it doesn't seem like it's very clear. And I think Rockstar also needs to know that some of these mods are not doing so to cause harm, but instead are just trying to offer players the ability to have the game when they might not, and also improve the current game that they might be playing, whether that be for PC or older GTA titles. I think that's really what people are just trying to do here, not ultimately cause any harm. Now, I'm certainly not a lawyer, and I'm not involved in this in any way, shape, or form, so I don't know how this is going to shake out. But I do know that not a lot of people here are on the side of Rockstar, and that most people are on the sides of the mod creators, hoping that there would have been a better outcome for everyone here. Now, because of this, there's actually been a lot of fallout. Like, for example, the most popular Grand Theft Auto mod for San Andreas, GTA Underground, it ended up shutting down, with the creators of the mod, after 6 years of development, just ending everything because they are fearful of Take-Two's increasingly hostile attitude towards modding. I mean, no one wants to be in a lawsuit, especially with the guys at Take-Two Interactive. They have tons of money, they have more experience, and they can make your life a whole lot of trouble. Lawsuits are something you guys do not want to get involved in, clearly. I don't think anyone wants to get involved in something like that. Now, what makes this kind of frustrating is Rockstar seems to be very old school when it comes to this, because other developers and publishers, instead of punishing modders, actually seem to be reaching out to them. In fact, I saw this story about a week or two ago. The story was several Cyberpunk 2077 modders were hired by CD Projekt Red for various projects. So several members of the Cyberpunk 2077 modding community were actually hired to work on projects related to the game. How cool is that? Like, that would be like if Rockstar saw some of the car mods out there and then added them to their team, and they got to make vehicles going forward in the future. Like, that to me is so cool. It's a company that clearly sees talent, even if the talent is just fans of their game. And they said, hey, do you want a job? Like, you do awesome work. Like, that is just so cool. So I don't know why Rockstar couldn't be more like that, to sort of find talent for creating things in their worlds instead of trying to shut it down. But I guess that's just the way they go about doing things. And it might not necessarily be a Rockstar thing. It might all be Take-Two Interactive. I don't know. I don't know enough about this, but I know this has made fans absolutely furious. But that's where I'm going to leave it, and that's where I would love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What do you think about this new Rockstar Games GTA lawsuit? Do you think the modders are in the right here? Do you think Take-Two Interactive is in the right here? Let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.